Hello world, it's Dave again, and I've just arrived home on this wonderful, what is it today? Nichiyobi desu. It's Sunday, and today I was invited out to a Japanese family that I had met through one of the back to school parties that I went to, where I went to this party. I may have even posted pics of it from before. And I hit it off with one of the members of the PTA who had a child who was going to the school that I'm teaching at. And she said, "Would you not be so kind as to come over and, grace us with your presence for dinner one of these days?" And I said, "Absolutely. That's incredible that you would invite me over like that." One of the reasons I came over to Japan, that's a really unique experience. I'm living here by myself, but to be invited to some family's home is very, very kind, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing if I've been invited over to do that. And this video is really just to focus on the kindness of the Japanese. And I know that there's each one of us has the capacity for this kind of behavior. I think that this is cross-culture, but I think that when a culture does show it, that you should really give a nod to it, just to say thank you very much, and that it's kind of a standard that we should all live by. And it was one thing to go over today and have dinner with them. And I'm going to post in a Dropbox link a couple of pictures today of myself with the family. I took a picture of, the spread at dinner. I asked them, I didn't want to be that guy having dinner with a family who is like taking pictures of them as they eat. I think that's horribly rude, and you should. I'm very much the sort of person who believes that you should kind of hold the moment here and in here. You don't need to constantly be taking pictures, but I think it's cool to have a few. So I asked them, and they let me have a picture of the spread that they had for dinner, and I took a few pictures of the family and a couple with myself as well. And it was an incredible time. And there's just a few things I could talk about that it will always strike me as bizarre that I go over to this family's house in Japan, and the mom speaks English, the kids speak English, the dads speak English, and everybody's not perfect, but it blows me away that people could so dedicate themselves to another language other than their own, that the entire family speaks your language, at least to some degree, where, in my opinion, it's fluent, because whatever ideas you want to convey, you can convey. Maybe not in the most complex form of grammar, but you can do it. And so that's really, really impressive to me. All I do is think of the reciprocal. I think of if a family, just say a Japanese person came to Canada, it would not be that they came to Canada to come over for dinner with my family, and the majority of the conversation was in Japanese. Like we wouldn't be doing that. And this is how it was when I went over. The majority of the conversation is in English, and then I'm trying to speak what little Japanese I have learned, and they're very complimentary of whatever Japanese that I do know. But amazing that they can speak the language so well. Another thing you'll see in the picture when I post these down in the links below is just the quality of food that they're eating, and the type of food that they're eating at their dinner is amazingly healthy. Where, not to say that we eat unhealthy in the West, because a lot of us have really balanced meals. It's absolutely the case, but I don't know if it's so traditionally the case. If people do that in the West, it's usually a pretty personal choice. We tend towards unhealthier things, generally speaking, whereas I feel the standard for a healthy dinner here is just what's expected. And you'll see that in the pictures I have available. You're eating a lot of sashimi. You're eating a lot of raw fish, just super high healthy protein, lean protein. You're having what else did we have? A whole bunch of different vegetables that are kind of like part and parcel with the whole dinner. You're having what else with it? You're having, if you can eat it, they were like, "Do you like natto?" I was like, yeah, I like natto. And if anybody who's watching this knows what that is, it's rough. If you say you're going to like it and you're going to eat it, be brave, unless you've been born and raised in Japan, because it's fermented bean, and it's got the consistency of alien slime, and it tastes about the same, but it is one of the most goddamn healthy things that you can possibly have. And so I ate a little bit of that. So you've got that, you got the vegetables, you got the lean protein. You're eating, I can't remember the name for it. They called it like a hand sushi. So basically, they've got the sticky rice and little sheets of whatchamacallit, you've got wakame? Seaweed. You've got seaweed, and then you scoop up a little bit of the rice and you make your own little sashimi, little roll, and you're dipping it in stuff. Another impressive thing here is the quality of wasabi just blows your head off. And so I had a wonderful time, post dinner, we're having, a bunch of little treats, some nice tea, general conversation in English for the most part. I can't believe the level of English that they're at. Um, and it was great. And then to top it all off, they've shown me all this hospitality. They've taken me into their home. They picked me up at my house. They dropped me off at my house afterwards. I've had to do nothing aside from be there and speak in my native language. It's up to me to speak to them in Japanese. They kind of let me do that as much as I want. And then they asked me, do you like rice? And I was like, yeah, I like rice. Rice is pretty good. And they said, do you have a rice cooker? And I said, no, but soon. I think it's really cheap. It's yasui. I would like to use rice, but I just haven't bought the rice cooker yet. I've gone to this place called Mega Donkey, which is their equivalent to Walmart, and they got lots of options, but I haven't done it yet. And they're like, oh, that's great. So here's a rice cooker. I couldn't get out of the house with like what Japanese family just when they're already hosting you and they give you a rice cooker. So I was like, wow, that's incredible. You've given me a rice cooker for coming over and you hosted me. And then it's like, oh, and here's some more food. So they give me some more food. That was fantastic. So they've given me food and a rice cooker at this point. And then they said, oh, do you have any rice? I said, no, I don't have rice. I didn't have the rice cooker. So let's give you a huge container of rice to take home. Who are these people? Like I say, it's cross-cultural kindness. Not everyone can be kind and wonderful, but I will never be less struck by people who are particularly kind and go out of their way to make you feel like a part of something. And they have no reason to. They have no huge benefit. I don't know, they haven't traveled to Canada before or anything like that, but they want to make you feel like a guest in their home. And I make these kind of videos because I like to illustrate how much, as much as culture is something that separates us and is unique and wonderful, we are all bound together by kindness and our shared humanity. And whether you go to Germany or you go to Japan or you go to Thailand, you're going to find people like this, and we should recognize that shared humanity and really appreciate it when we see it in other cultures. We might make stereotypes, but we should stereotype that kindness is cross-cultural and really appreciate it when it shows up for us. So a great Sunday, little rice cooker, little extra food, incredible kindness, incredible meal with the whole family. I had a great time. And I wanted to share that experience. And down below, like I said, will be the Dropbox link of the couple pictures. I didn't go picture crazy because I wanted, like I say, I'm not one of those people. I think it's enough that I make YouTube videos. I hate over documenting your experiences. You should enjoy them in the moment. But those will be down below. And a song I'm going to recommend is going to be again from the Kid Cudi album I've been listening to recently, which is going to be called Immortal. That'll be down in the links. The Japanese word that I will share with you today, just waving at bugs, that's what that's about. It'll be a way if it'll be a phrase. It'll be a phrase because something you can do if you're ever in Japan and you're invited over to an event where somebody is having you to dinner or something like this, you may want to, not saying you absolutely have to, but it goes a long way, like it would in any culture, to buy them a little something. And something that always hits home very well is alcohol. So I bought them a little alcohol, and the phrase that accompanies that when you want to give somebody something is tsumaranai mono desuga dozo. And that means a small thing for you, please. And you hand it to them. Dozo means please. I will put that down in the bottom. So that's a phrase you can use when you hand somebody a small gift. And it's very, very traditional, that phrase to say, please have this small item, and you'll get huge brownie points for using it, and you'll get kind of that in-cultural experience. So put that down below. You got the song recommendation down below. I hope you enjoyed my little chat, and this should assure you that waiting for you in Japan is a lot of these kinds of experiences, because I don't think that this is restricted to this one family. A lot of people are like this. A lot of wonderful people over here, just like everywhere. You just got to put yourself out there in a good way and you'll run into them. So that's that for this video. I've kept it under 15 minutes. Hallelujah. And like I like to say, until we meet again next time, world, thanks for tripping with Dave. And ciao for now.